All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA show. So, what I want to talk about today is confidence in a different way than maybe I've talked about it before. If you know anything about me, I teach men how to master their self-confidence or just try to help them build confidence within themselves to try to become who they truly want to become, do what they want to do, and kind of do it with who they want to do it with. And what I want to get into today, because I get hit, I see this actually, I should say, with myself and others. And a lot of times when people meet me, they're just like, Rich, you just have all this confidence and you don't give a shit what you say or do. You just go do whatever. And when you walk in a room or when you talk to anybody, you just don't give a shit. And even social media, you don't care if you take your shirt off or the way you dress or the way you talk and all these things. But, I think no matter who you are, I think there are times in your life where you're very confident and then you lack confidence. But a lot of people don't want to talk about this. Because I do think a lot of times we are in situations where we're very comfortable and we have all the confidence in the world. It may even be at your workplace, it could be in your home, it could be wherever. And then you may also all of a sudden find yourself in an environment you're not that comfortable with. And I'm not saying it's dangerous. I'm just saying it's not your realm or whatever, something you're not, familiar with. And you kind of shut down. You get scared. Or you become a jabberjaw, like you get nervous and you start running at the mouth, or you start behaving a way that you normally wouldn't behave. And I see this, and I've even caught myself doing this. And I'm not here to tell anybody how to behave. I'm just saying. A lot of things I bring up, I just want people to understand that other people go through this when it comes to being confident and not being confident. And I think emotionally, too, and it can happen very quickly. I think that's one of the things people also don't talk about is you may be even in a conversation with somebody and feeling very confident about what you're talking about, and then all of a sudden you're in an argument or you're in a discussion and somebody knocks it down or proves you wrong. And it kind of deflates you. Now all of a sudden you're losing that confidence, okay? And you kind of also take that, like you leave with that. And sometimes it's almost like poison because I think a lot of times, too, in life, and this really, I think, happens in a lot of relationships, actually, I would say. And this could be with friendships, but I think when you're trying to date somebody or you're in a relationship with somebody and things start to go south a little bit, maybe, and you had all this confidence in your relationship that you're going to grow and maybe even, I don't know, maybe even get engaged, maybe get married, may have kids, or you may even already be in that situation. And you're very confident, and then all of a sudden things start happening where you slowly but surely start to lose your confidence. And before you know it, your kind of identity changes after a certain amount of time because you may have been somebody who was very, powerful and very, not, I don't want to say demanding, but somebody who was in a lot of control, or in control of their life, and people believed in them. And it could be a loss of a job. I mean, I have seen so many people, their whole life kind of turn upside down because they either got fired or their business went under. And I understand that. Or who knows what happened in their career. Something could have happened. And the person they were and the person they become is unbelievable how that can shift and change. Even very successful people. I've also seen a lot of guys, too, I'm just going to say, that really didn't have a lot of confidence. But as time went on, for some reason, they started to build more and more confidence. And even when they got knocked down, they were able to kind of keep coming back. And I think a lot of people, I'm just going to say, because I was around it a lot with alcohol, a lot of alcoholics and people that drink and even do drugs, that sometimes I think when dealing with, I shouldn't say confidence, but when dealing with a lot of things, obviously they start doing things to kind of numb themselves, or they don't have to deal with certain things after a while, especially after they start to lose their confidence, not only in maybe what they're doing, but in themselves. And I think a lot of times in life, we are going to feel like lost. No one goes unscathed. I talk about it all the time. Throughout your life, if you plan on living to, say, 80 years old, do you know how many hours that is? Do you know how many days that is? Do you know how many weeks that is? Do you know how many months that is? I mean, it's 80 years. Think about how long that is. All the different things you're going to go through throughout your life, all the different people you're going to meet throughout your life, all the different maybe careers you're going to, maybe go after, or starting a business or meeting, just your whole it's such, a lot of times I do get time flies, right? But if you're fortunate enough to live a full, long life, life's a lot longer too than you think. I'm just going to tell you, especially if you're starting, I'm in my 50s now, and it's kind of amazing. I'm thinking back, wow, I lived a half a century, right? But I'm also thinking, wow, I've had a lot of ups and downs, right? Especially emotionally. I have felt at times where I was indestructible, literally, physically, mentally, and everything. Then in other times, I literally felt like I was just gone. I don't even know who, I was just so deflated at times in my life. And, life really is a lot about the ups and downs. And I did a podcast, I haven't posted it yet. I called it Take the Emotional Hit, because everyone's going to go through maybe millions. I don't even know all these different emotions throughout a day, throughout a week, throughout a month. And you're going to go through a lot of different emotions regarding different people. So it's like this person, it could be good or bad or in the middle, whatever. Conversations you have, relationships you have, friendships you have, all these different types of things are going to take an emotional toll on you. It's just reality, and how you handle that is going to really kind of be on you. Are you going to let a lot of your emotions or losing confidence in yourself kind of destroy you? Or are you going to kind of learn you're going to come back from that? Or are you somebody, again, that's real down and low, and maybe it's time to start kicking it in the ass, as I would say, and start building up that confidence and not letting, anything kind of get in the way. Again, that doesn't mean you're not going to have setbacks. That doesn't also mean you're not going to feel like you don't have all the confidence in the world regarding what you're doing. I don't think anyone does. I don't care if you're a professional athlete and you think, my God, that guy's the most confident thing in the world. That's why he always succeeds. I'm sure his confidence is very high, there's no question. But I'm sure at different times when he is doing different things, he's having setbacks. It can be, even if he's an Olympian, he doesn't always win the gold, right? He may have lost races. We don't know. Professional athletes, it's not like they're always winning the title, right? Nobody always wins. I mean, even if Tom Brady won how many Super Bowls, how many did he also lose? So my point being is, you, just like them, have to overcome and understand certain things in your life that you're going to be very confident, I believe, a lot of times in life regarding certain things, and you're going to lose a lot of confidence regarding what you're doing or maybe in yourself. But be self-aware when that kind of happens. I've been kind of regulating my days a lot, and I'm going to tell you something. When you become more and more self-aware of your behavior, it's really a pain in the ass. Because everything you start to say and you do, you kind of question a lot of times, like, why do I do that? Why do I feel that? Why did I just say that? Why am I aggravated very quickly? Why am I happy regarding this? Why do I need that right now? Why am I doing everything I'm kind of doing? And you kind of say, you figure out why you're doing it, but then again, there's so much shit you're doing that you're wasting time, or you're behaving in a way that you don't really want to be treated, or you're treating people the way you wouldn't even want to be treated sometimes. And it's just very, if you take time out though, to start becoming very self-aware of your behavior, you're going to understand these things. And even when you're not feeling confident, you'll be like, oh, I get it. I feel this way. And I will wrap it up with this officially. I helped my buddy for a summer in his law firm. Actually, not that long ago. I just wanted to take a year off. Not a year. I think I took like 5-6 months off. I was exhausted from traveling. My buddies own law firms. They're partners downtown. I went and worked with one just for the summer. And he said, Rich, just stay here with me over the summer. We'll go to baseball games, went to the movie theaters. We were eating out constantly. And what was interesting is I would go to his office a lot of times. Sometimes I was, a lot of times, guys are in suit and ties, but a lot of times they're not the lawyers. If they're not going to court, you don't go. But a lot of them are dressed, and either I was really overdressed because I like to stylize myself, or I was always underdressed because I would wear maybe to the office like fitness clothes. And a lot of times we'd go to all different places for dinners. And a lot of times they wouldn't question me, but they would even sometimes, if I didn't have a sport coat on and we went to fine dining, I'd have to put a sport coat on. It was kind of funny. I've even taken pictures for Facebook where I'm sitting there in like an Adidas shirt and Adidas sweatpants, and they're all in suit and ties. And I just saw one of those actually recently, and I was laughing. But I would go to dinner with a lot of these lawyers, and they're not a few of them. I'm talking sometimes 5, 10, who the hell knows, a bunch of group of guys. And believe me, I'm not on their intelligence level by any means, especially when it comes to law. They even, nobody really talked politics, but a lot of things they would talk about, especially sports, they argue. And I would sometimes sit back, and a lot of people be like, Rich, you're always confident. And I'm like, when I was around those guys, I was very quiet. Not that I wasn't confident myself. I just wanted to make sure that everything I was saying was kind of, it had a meaning to it, and I wasn't bullshitting. And I didn't have the endurance to argue like they had. But I can kind of see where I stood in that realm where, okay, I'm confident in these positions, but when I'm in these discussions, I'm kind of not as confident because I'm not as knowledgeable. And I think, again, like I said earlier, either people shut down or they start running at the mouth. But it was just an interesting summer that I spent with an extremely amount of intelligent men, and I had a blast with them. And what was funny is they were always in suit and ties a lot of times, and they would be asking me, a guy in athletic wear, about style, because they knew I liked style and I liked to dress and do all these different types of things. And then I felt very confident. But as soon as they would say talk baseball and I'm okay in baseball, I was like, oh shit, I don't have any confidence in this conversation. Or like if they would start arguments regarding anything, I'm like, listen, I don't have the confidence to argue with the lawyer that literally most of these guys almost have photographic memories, and they're very smart. And these were like, I mean, some are even judges you're hanging out with. And sometimes I'd be like, what the hell is someone like me doing hanging out with a bunch of these type of people? I could have felt deflated and said, I don't have any confidence here. I shouldn't even be with them. And on the other hand, I just said, you know what? I just feel like I should be there with them, but not always talking, but more or less learning. So anyways, I'm going to wrap it up there. If you got any questions or comments, you could hit me up. I'm at richtolenza.com. But like I said earlier, man, you're not going to always be confident, and you're sometimes just going to be all over the place emotionally. Just pay attention and don't let that shit bring you down. All right? Take care, and I wish everyone the best.